Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you early this afternoon and going into afternoon time as well for an album review. And this is for a surprising album that came out yesterday that I did not know about until as of yesterday afternoon or something like that. This is for the new Kanye West album, Donda, that I'm going to be reviewing. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this 27 track album and let you know my thoughts on what I thought of this album. So let's dive into this video or review, I meant to say. Now, this is his long awaited album that he's been teasing for a while, and he's been delaying it so much due to the fact that he hasn't had time for it to come out. But I guess his record company released it without his permission or his approval or whatever. And that's what he's claiming, that it was without his approval. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, once it's out, it's already out. So, sorry, Kanye. But what did I think of this album overall? It's meh. It's not the worst thing I've heard this year. So, thank God it's not a bad Kanye West album. It's long as fuck. It's like an hour and 49 minutes long. So, you're in for quite a long album by Kanye West. I think my favorite songs have got to be Hurricane, which does feature The Weeknd in it. That was good. Um, After that was Moon. That was another favorite of mine. Jesus Lord and Jesus Lord Part 2 were very good. And yeah. After that, I just started to see that the album was falling short from executing well, because Donda Chant was so annoying for 52 seconds, to be honest. So I gave that a 2.5 out of 5. I wasn't crazy about the opening track, the intro track to the album. Jail was pretty average, not that bad. Just average. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. There's some production work in it that doesn't sound as great, but it did alright for what it was. God Breathed was some repetitive lyrics in it, and the way that Kanye West is repeating himself, God breathed, and he's repeating it, and it's getting a little repetitive, and it kind of is a little annoying, but the song didn't do too bad. It had a point where it did stop repeating itself with the chorus part of the song. Off the Grid was it was average. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, along with God Breathed. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, Hurricane is one of my favorite songs. It's going to be probably my favorite song. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 because there was a little bit of production that was, I don't know what you call it, not mixing right, but it still did pretty good for what it is. The Weeknd was sounding really good in this song, and Kanye was not doing too bad with how he was making the song out to be. So it didn't do so bad. Praise God was decent. Jonah was average. Okay is a little underwhelming, but it did average at best. It was an average song. Juna was okay. It wasn't great. It was almost bad, but at least it didn't get a bad rating. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Believe What I Say was decent. I'm just trying to breeze through these tracks before I rate this review, because I know I'm not going to be able to talk about everything that I liked about in this album. There were some things I liked, a few songs I liked, I think 4 or 5, and then after that, the album started to feel flat a bit. But yeah, Heaven and Hell was alright. 24 and Remote Control were alright songs. Like I said, Moon's my favorite one because it has Kid Cudi in it. And Don Tolliver, I think, is in the song as well. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at it on Wikipedia, but Kid Cudi's in this uh, song or whatever, and it sounds pretty good mixing wise. So Moon was one of my favorites. There's some points in the song where it feels kind of cringe, but it didn't do so bad. So just the way the autotune voice was sounding, I don't know, wasn't feeling for it as much. Donda was a decent track. The title track was decent. It was only 2 minutes and 8 seconds, so it wasn't very long. Then comes Keep My Spirit Alive. Jesus Lord was one of my favorite ones. I like the way that Kanye West is singing it, where he's like, tell me if you know someone that needs you, or whatever. There is an autotune you thing that when they sing you, but it doesn't sound so bad. Um, New Again featuring Chris Brown in it was decent. I could barely hear what Chris Brown was singing at times because it sounded a little messed up with the production. So, Tell the Vision was an okay track. It's one of the weaker songs, to be honest. It's another weaker song. Uh, Lord, I Need You was not so bad. It was decent. Pure Souls was average. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Come to Life was decent. So was No Child Left Behind. I thought No Child Left Behind was going to be good, but there's some production work that I'm not sure if I'm crazy about. Jail Part 2 was not too bad. Then comes OK OK Part 2 and Juno Part 2. I think OK OK Part 2 was average, but could have been worked on and tweaked a bit more to make the song boost up to like a good rating. But it did alright for what it was. Juno Part 2 was okay. It's getting the same rating I gave the original song. And Jesus Lord Part 2 sounded really good. So it closed out the album pretty fine. Overall, I think this album's meh. It's not a bad album. It just needed a bit more work. Uh, it needed a little tweaking with the production and mixing. But for what it is as a Kanye West album, it's alright to listen to, I guess. So for a score, I'm going to give Donda by Kanye West a 6.5 out of 10. This was okay. It's not terrible. I was going to give it a 6 out of 10, but I was like, maybe I should give it a 6.5 just to be nice. But yeah, I didn't hate this album. It is listenable for the hour and 49 minutes of a runtime, so it's a long album, but it's not too bad. It's okay. I almost gave it a decent rating, but for what it is, it's okay. So 6.5 out of 10 I'm going to settle with. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of this official album review for Kanye West Donda that finally came out by the record company, of course. I don't know if Kanye West got it and gave his approval for it to be out. But I guess the record company was getting impatient and was like, oh, fuck it. People want this album, so we'll give it to them. But if you did enjoy this kind of long album review, comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I will be returning to you tonight on my Twitch channel, the Gaming Nerd 2516, for the Resident Evil 4 gameplay. So, yeah, it's going to happen tonight. And then I'm doing the Tuesday album review on, tomorrow. Because tomorrow's Tuesday, of course. And then some other videos as well. I gotta see what I'm gonna be doing. I know Drake's dropping his album. I know Drake and Kanye have been feuding for some reason, some odd reason. So that's, uh, yeah, I'm not getting involved, to be honest. I'm not gonna talk about that drama because they're feuding about which album's gonna be better, and I'm like, who fucking cares? To be honest. An album's an album. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't, just don't listen to it again. But anyways, I'm gonna end this long ass long ass album review. Sorry if I slurred my word for a moment for the Kanye West Donda. I hope you enjoyed it because I did the best I could to make it as good as possible for you guys to watch. Stay safe, take care, and as always, I'll see you in my next review.